Hello everyone, tip of the week again. This week, let's talk about how to paint rocks. Rocks have some characters that if you understand those characters, it becomes quite easy to paint. The first and the most important character, I think, is that around the rocks, at least you need to paint one side of the rock with a hard edge. Somewhere visible as a hard edge to show that rocks are solid instead of soft. So that's one. And the second is, if as an artist, you can group the rocks into a large, medium, and some small shapes together, that will make the rock look much more interesting. Third one is rocks are not just brown. It can be any color, and if you can add warm and cool colors, you see under the sun that there's a lot of warm colors, and in the shadow part, there definitely are cooler colors. So if you can use these two types of colors to paint rocks, the rocks become much more interesting. All right, so here is my group of rocks. I drew this line to make sure that this edge will be hard edged, and I grouped them into large, medium, and some small ones, and made some companion rocks here. So let's start with a solid edge. So I use a pretty thick pens so you can see it. And you can even draw that. As we said, the rocks with the formation on the side is a lot warmer than the against the light part. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a cool and a warm colors into it. And you see the edge of this rock. I made sure it's pretty hard edged, so you can see it clearly. That means it's rock instead of it's cotton ball or marshmallow. So cool and a warm color make it much more interesting. And here are some mini shapes of rocks, mixing some interesting darks directly on the paper. And you'll see here on the bottom part of the rock actually is a part of the water, so I will leave that for now and see what we can do afterwards. So that's pretty much the rock. Okay, if you wanted to add more interest to the rocks, here are the way to do it. You can add more texture, you can deposit more colors into it and make the hard edge much more stronger and visible. So that's the facing light part. And I'll make some lighter ones. Too dark, sorry. And then make it lighter. It doesn't have to be brown, can be any color. Let's say make some orange or purple. You can do anything. Just make sure that it follows that three character: hard edge and the varied edge and the lines to make them much more interesting. So that's pretty much the rock. And I will give a little soft wash. We're painting something on the ocean, so I'm thinking to make the bottom part look like it's washed by the ocean water. To make the bottom part soft edged and connected to the water. Okay, so how about make it this edge a little sticking out, some rough edged. Okay. So this white spot actually is just by accident, but it's a good thing we leave some there, and looks like it's the highlight. So that's just a simple texture of the water. I'll give you some different colors, blue color, and continue on the side. Just a suggestion, okay? And then we say here is soft edged. You see I kind of smear a little bit, and on this side, let's say we put some shadow down there. And just a hint. And this is the rock that we say it's on the sand on each part. There's a little hint about the beach. You see clearly the top of the rock. It's the hard edge, and the bottom, it's either sitting in the water or, oops, there's some pink in there. We don't need that. It's sit either in the water or on the sand. It becomes soft. That's why I kind of smeared it out, and we really don't need that part, the rock, to be shown. So the character is here. And it's here, and all these highlights most of the time will help to make the rock look like a rock. Okay, not much brown here, but as I said, we used warm color and a cool color as a combination to make the rock so much more interesting. You can add some baby rocks with any color. Just try not to use the pre-mixed brown. It's sort of deadly color, okay? Okay, so now here and then there, and that's our tip of the week. That's the rock, the easy making of the rocks. So one more time, 3 characters of the rock. It's a hard edge and not brown, and usually the rocks are grouped together nicely. You can group them into large, medium, small, just nothing equal. So you cannot make it soft. Here, because it was wet, so I tried to put some mini rocks in there. Look what happened. Nothing really looked like a rock. So maybe later when it's completely dry or closer to dry. Okay, so see if I can make it. So I'm just putting that, add some thicker pins to make it look like a connected. Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you use those 3 characters of the rock, your rock will look like fantastic group of rocks, and will be very interesting. Okay, hopefully this is something that you wanted to give a try, and have some fun doing these rocks at home. Thanks for watching.